collaborative law enforcement effort here in Allegheny County. We believe this collaborative initiative will make positive quality of life changes for people and families who do not deserve to face the threats of violence posed by drug traffickers and other criminals who possess firearms. This initiative was focused primarily in the McKeesport area, where we have seen concerning levels of drug trafficking and illegal possession of firearms and resulting incidents of gun violence. Incidents that I, as Attorney General of Pennsylvania, refuse to accept as a norm for any part of the Commonwealth. And that is why this initiative, that is what this initiative was all about, charging and arresting offenders who think they exist in a state of lawlessness where drug dealing and gunplay is a way of life. Soon after being sworn in as Attorney General, I started conversations with stakeholders all throughout the Commonwealth to learn more about the challenges in their respective communities. Illegal possession of firearms and the resulting gun violence in this region were a topic of concern. We're here today to announce the conclusion of a summer-long proactive effort to remove from our communities illegal firearms and drugs and the dangerous individuals who possess them. Along with our partners here today, we will be discussing 18 arrests along with seizures of nearly 20 firearms. Each and every one of those firearms a potential threat to law-abiding citizens who are just going about their daily lives. We also seize quantities of illegal narcotics, which are at the center of these devastating incidents of gun violence that we see in our headlines far too often. I am very, very proud of the two Office of Attorney General units that led this initiative, those being our Bureau of Narcotics Investigations and the Allegheny County Gun Violence Task Force, both of which are doing outstanding jobs. The Gun Violence Task Force launched here just over a year ago, and this kind of work is exactly why it exists, to offer resources, manpower, and expertise to law enforcement partners all throughout this region and throughout Pennsylvania. As I've said many times, if we cannot feel safe in our neighborhoods with our families and our friends, then nothing else matters. I'm very proud to stand here with the partners today who share that core public safety mission, and those partners that we have with us today, and I apologize if I miss anyone, there are a lot of people that work together on all of these initiatives. Members of the Allegheny District Attorney's Narcotics Enforcement Team, the McKeesport Police, the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department, the Drug Enforcement Agency, the DEA, Clairton Police Department, Jefferson Hills Department, West Mifflin Police Department, and the Pennsylvania State Probation and Parole played critical roles in this entire initiative. I'll say it again, but I want to emphasize that the best outcomes for public safety come through people working together, and that's what we're here today to talk about. Each agency here played a crucial role in this summer-long effort which involved arrests and a final wave of arrests that occurred just last week. This initiative focused specifically on individuals contributing to an escalation of violence in the McKeesport area. This is not one single criminal organization. These are many bad actors who committed separate crimes. And before I get into the details, everyone here charged, of course, is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. Overall, we charged 19 people with offenses relating to drug trafficking and or the illegal possession of firearms. Some of these individuals were on parole or some sort of court supervision. Some were identified as dangerous, violent offenders. All, we believe, were contributors to the escalating atmosphere of violence in the area. We see 17 firearms, many of them handguns, and you can see them on the poster board up here to my left. Our investigations also recovered $40,000 worth of cocaine, plus different quantities of heroin and fentanyl. As I mentioned, this effort was specifically in response to disturbing incidents of gun violence and drug trafficking to the McKeesport area. It's just the kind of collaboration that we strive for with the Allegheny County Gun Violence Task Force. That unit, as I said, launched last year and is a collaboration of local, state, and federal partners aimed at removing illegally possessed firearms and the criminals who possess them from Western Pennsylvania. It is through that collaborative task force, strong work from the office's Bureau of Narcotics Division, and assistance from our local partners that we were able to make these arrests and seizures. And I want to commend all the officers, the agents, and the personnel who assisted in these arrests and search warrant efforts. Those are some of the most dangerous offenders in society, and each and every time a police officer engages with them, there is a potential for danger. Now, oftentimes when you see press conferences of this nature announcing arrests for illegal guns or drugs, you have the different leaders of different agencies that stand here. But I think it's very, very important that I say this. There are so many police officers, probation officers, parole officers that work every single day that none of you ever see. They won't ever be standing up here, but they literally put their lives on the line every single day, every single time they try to do their job. When they pull a car over, when they conduct a search warrant, it puts them every single time in a position where they may not go home that day. And I want to take a minute to make sure that everyone understands the appreciative nature, how appreciative I am for the hard work they do. If it wasn't for them, none of the amazing initiatives we see every day would ever happen. None of the individuals that have been taken off the street, none of that would happen, and none of the guns, the illegal guns that are out there being used to shoot people would be removed as well. So, these are the kind of sacrifices that law enforcement makes every single day. They don't ask for credit, but I'm giving it to them and I'm thanking them for everything they do. So my office, along with our partners, we've been very, very busy, in particular out here in Western Pennsylvania. I would be remiss not to mention the successes in this part of the state from both the Office of Attorney Generals and the Gun Violence Task Force and our Bureau of Narcotics Investigations. As I mentioned, the Allegheny County Gun Violence Task Force launched this last summer. Since the task force's inception, we've initiated more than 92 investigations, resulting in more than 70 arrests, and have recovered more than 75 firearms through these investigations. Again, every single one of those illegal firearms that were obtained through these arrests and these investigations were a potential means for someone to commit an act of violence that could have caused serious bodily injury or death in the wrong hands to another person. This task force has partnered with 15 different local and state agencies in all of these investigations, and I'm here to tell you today that that network will not only continue, but it will expand. These are impressive numbers considering the task force itself is still relatively small, and it proves what a huge impact we can have when we collaborate and we work together. Our Bureau of Narcotics Investigations is having a very successful year all throughout the Commonwealth. A couple of weeks ago, we crippled a major drug trafficking organization in Philadelphia, and I'm proud to say that that type of work is being done everywhere. Just last week, we finished a roundup of 10 individuals in Blair County who were harming their communities through drug trafficking. Deadly drugs have an even more devastating impact on smaller, rural communities where resources may not be as robust as, say, a metropolitan area. That's exactly why we, along with our partners, need to be here. My office is determined to stand up to criminals who threaten public safety, whoever or wherever they are. Along with my partners here today, our message is clear. We will not tolerate lawlessness or disregard for human life. You can expect this to be one of many successful operations that we announce. Our work is not done. As I said, I'm making trips all throughout the Commonwealth to assess and identify areas where we can step in and be partners for the local law enforcement that are fighting every day to do this type of work. So the message very simply is stay tuned. We have much more to do, and I'm excited to see what our officers and agents, along with all of our partners, will accomplish in the coming months. But we're pleased to stand here today and announce that nearly 20 dangerous offenders will be held accountable for putting people, families, and neighborhoods at risk. We cannot allow a culture of violence to continue to be the norm, and that is why we will continue to do our work in every corner of the Commonwealth and all of the spaces in between. Finally, I'd like to thank the media for being here today to cover this. It's an important time to show that we can stand together and fight back against violence in our communities. And so I'm now going to turn the mic over to our sheriff here in Allegheny County. But before I do, I'd like to let you know who all is standing up here, which I was supposed to do when I started the press conference. So that would be myself, the Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Kraus, McKeesport Police Chief John Alford, also present Pennsylvania Department of Corrections Fast Unit Coordinator Jeffrey Long, members of the Office of Attorney General's Gun Violence Task Force, and the Bureau of Narcotics Investigations, including the Chief Deputy of our Gun Violence Section, Tracy Gatos, Chief Deputy of our Drug Strike Force Section, Michael Madeira. John Kitzinger is our Chief of Criminal Investigations, who actually is in the back, somehow pulled that off. And we have personnel here from all the other local agencies that have been working. So I would now like to turn the mic over to Allegheny County Sheriff Kevin Krause.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Good afternoon. My name's Kevin Krause. I'm the Sheriff of Allegheny County. I'm just going to read a quick quote. So one of the reasons why an operation like this is successful is due to the working relationships and the common goal that all law enforcement, including Attorney General Sunday, shares to keep our residents safe. My office is committed to that mission each day, and when needed and requested, we will absolutely provide the resources necessary to ensure that these types of initiatives accomplish the objective of a safer community to live, work, and raise a family. It is the commitment of my office to provide support to all communities throughout Allegheny County. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. Chief?
Hello, my name's Josh Elfer. I'm Police Chief for City of McKeesport Police Department. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Attorney General Sunday for the invite to this press conference. This collaborated effort with these agencies, we would not have safer streets without having task force set up like this. During the course of it, the officers, the agents, even the analysts that were involved in this did a remarkable job. They worked tirelessly and assisted throughout these investigations, which led to numerous arrests. Our community from these events reaped the benefits of safer streets for our kids to play, our families to go out, and everybody walk the streets without having to worry of having any active violence occur during these times that these task forces were out. I would like to see continued efforts with these agencies to help us. The additional staffing in today's world is a huge bonus and benefit, and I would like to continue the relationship that we have with our agency partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, thank you very much. There's going to be our press release is going to be put out when we're done here, correct? And so in advance of that, if anyone has any general questions, obviously this is an ongoing initiative, so we have to be thoughtful about what we can and can't answer. But if anyone has any general questions, we're willing to take them. About this specific incident. I'll be available for any specific questions. Yes, sir.
Being ongoing, I guess then,
Yep.
Are you planning more arrests in possibly even the near future?
So what I can say is I can't go into details with regard to this specific investigation, but what I can say is that the collaborative nature of this and the team that's put together to include a lot of people that aren't here today. The Allegheny County District Attorney's Office are huge collaborative partners. There's different police departments, the Pennsylvania State Police. We are all working together literally every single day to identify ways that we can leverage all of our resources to be successful. I mean, it's not a secret that there are major challenges in Pennsylvania with regard to recruitment and retention of law enforcement officers. There's a statewide task force that the Senate created, and I was made the chair of that. It is a huge issue for public safety. We have to have individuals that are willing to do these tough jobs. And so with that in mind, because we have a can-do spirit, we are all working together to try to figure out ways really to help each other. And so are you going to see more of this? You're going to see a lot more of this. And I look forward to sharing it with you.
Can you talk a little bit more about what specifically led to the implementation and pulling the trigger on, pardon the expression, Operation Summer Suppression?
Chief, do you want to talk about how you reached out? Go ahead.
So one of the things whenever I first took over office was we've always had a great relationship with the Attorney General's office. with the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, and the surrounding agencies around us. We had very proactive guys on our department that worked hand in hand over the last couple of years with Attorney General agents. And myself and one of their supervisors sat down, we had a conversation, and we brought in additional agencies and additional officers throughout our department and their agencies to sit down and talk about it, which led to us coming to an agreement on how we planned on starting an investigation, to where it led to the results in which we have.
Chief, my question is for you as well. You want to step back
Yes.
up there. Chief, you talked about, all of you did, about how much gun violence has happened in McKeesport, and also there have been several homicides in recent years, and many of them are unsolved. Can you confidently say that any of the 18 arrests that have been made in this operation are tied to any of those shootings or to those homicides?
I do not have a comment for that. If you want to reach out to Allegheny County homicide detectives, they would probably be able to give you further updates on that.
So you guys don't know if any of these people are connected to any of the shootings?
A lot of this is still under investigation, and we can't release any information pertaining to certain events.
Yes, sir.
Were these individuals, were they all connected? Were they different groups, I guess? You know, was there any relation?
Go ahead.
These are not, this is not one large organization of violence. These are individuals who, working together as partners, using intelligence. I know the analysts were mentioned. They were identified both hot spots, areas in which gun violence was at an increase, and then they also have identified targets. Those individuals who, based on intelligence, based on police work, based on law enforcement resources, were able to identify as people who were both driving that gun violence as well as driving the narcotics trade in this area.
Okay, thank you everyone for covering this today. I appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.